everyone, Illusion Falls back here again with another video. Today we're doing something a little different. Not gonna do a tech review, not doing a vlog. Well, I guess this is kind of considered a vlog, but as you can tell from the title of the video, this is going to be a documentary. A documentary on the 900-mile adventure. Now, you may be asking, what is the 900-mile adventure? Well, it's going to be on this here motorcycle. This motorcycle is a 1997 Suzuki Marauder. It is a 800 V-twin with a half-baffled exhaust. And I've owned this bike for about 3 years now. Maybe a little bit more. But this 900-mile adventure is me and a buddy of mine, Tristan, where we will start here in Moses Lake and we will be going all the way around the Olympic National Park. And from there, we'll be going down south to Ocean Shores, and then going down by Mount St. Helens, and then coming up back onto I-90 and back to Moses Lake. The course of this adventure is going to be 3 days. The first day will start in Moses Lake, going through Stevens Pass, going through Seattle, taking a ferry across over into Kingston area, and then our first night we are spending in Port Angeles area. The second day will consist of driving, or in this case riding, from Port Angeles to Ocean Shores. We will be going around the Pacific National Park, going all the way down to Ocean Shores. Saturday night, we spend the night in Ocean Shores, and then Sunday, we go from Ocean Shores, and then down a little south over by Mount St. Helens, making a stop in Morton. That is where my grandpa used to live. And then from Morton, up through Yakima, and then through Yakima, back up to Moses Lake. Now, the furthest I've ever ridden on this bike, in a single trip, is probably a little over 100 miles. And doing that trip, it hurt my bottom a little bit. Now, this is a much bigger trip. It's about 300 miles per day. So I guess we'll just see how my body holds up during this adventure. So, let's get into the gear and equipment. Here we have a Scorpion Exo helmet. I've had this helmet since I've had the bike. It's done me well. I have dropped it a couple times, and the original face shield on it was kind of messed up, so I have this a little bit darker one. Provides a little bit more shade even though I wear sunglasses underneath, but that's okay. Next, we have a motorcycle jacket from Fly. I don't remember the exact name of it off the top of my head. It has padding in the forearms and shoulders, and it has the jacket itself in the front. It's completely mesh, so you don't really get a whole lot of protection for your frontal region. So for that, I'll be wearing a sweatshirt underneath. It's not much, but it'll help. And then as far as clothing, I'll be packing pretty much 3 days worth of whatever. I got 3 shirts, 3 underwear, 3 socks. I'll be bringing my pair of shorts and a pair of jeans, and that should be good. Now you may be wondering, where am I going to store all this? Well, my friend, that's actually a great story. Originally, I was going to buy over $200 saddlebags for my bike, and I didn't even know if they were going to fit. Solution. One day, me and my dad, we were talking about some stuff about the bike, and I saw this bicycle bag that was meant for like a mountain bike carrying stuff. And I was like, oh, maybe I can use this just as like a little storage thing. Sure, it can't store clothes. But then my dad was like, oh, no, it can store clothes. We throw it on the bike, and the two side, like the two side zippers on the bag, those fold down to act like saddlebags. It's saddlebags meant for a mountain bike, but in this case, it's going to be our saddlebags for the motorcycle here. I haven't tested fitting the stuff in yet, but I'm pretty sure if I fold up my clothes and roll them up and throw them in there, everything should fit just fine. And as for the rest of the gear, I'm going to be bringing my Canon 90D, and then I also have my GoPro Hero 9. And I also have a handlebar mount that I'll be using to record my GoPro. I was going to use my helmet mount, but I don't like that it's sideways, and then I'd have to turn the video, but then it's only showing the one bit of piece. You got your black bars on the side, and it's only showing the bit of video. So I bought a handlebar mount. The mount itself wasn't really cheap. And when I bought the mount, I thought it was going to fit on the handlebar. Well, it was too big. Solution. Me and my dad thought of some ideas, and then I thought, hey, why not just wrap a rag around the handlebar and then put the mount on? Works like a charm. Mount stays in place, doesn't budge or move. So, got that taken care of. And where am I going to be storing the camera? Well, I was going to think on putting it in the saddlebag, but I just figured put it in my backpack so I can put all my other camera gear that I was going to bring. I was going to bring my different lenses and stuff, battery charger, all that good stuff. Now, as far as tripods, I'm not going to be bringing my big tripod. I have a little tiny tripod that's about yay big, so I think that'll work. But and then I also have a little bag on the front where I will be putting my wallet and my phone, because or I could put them in my jacket, but the bag in the front is just for some extra little storage. Now, you guys can't see it, but I'll show a little snippet of it, but my buddy Tristan, the guy that I'm riding with, he got me a Guardian Bell. And if any of you don't know, Guardian Bells are supposed to bring you good luck and like ward off the road demons, so to give you a safe journey. So I have that attached onto my bike, and it's just in time for this adventure, with about 2 days until we start the adventure. I'll see you guys the morning of. We're leaving Friday morning at 8 o'clock. So, that's it for this little snippet, and I'll see you guys then. So, Friday had rolled around, got all my gear ready. I was just waiting for my bike to warm up, but once the bike got all warmed up, it was time to hit the road. Once on the road, it was I'd say about a 20-minute drive to where Tristan lived. Once I had picked up Tristan, we made our way towards our next big stop where we would fuel up, which was Leavenworth. But we passed through a town called Quincy, which wasn't really much, but on our way to our next town, Wenatchee, there was a little incident. We'll get more into that later. Anyways, we continue our way down this highway, going downhill, and we eventually pass into Wenatchee. Now, Wenatchee's not that bad of a town, just it's frustrating with a stoplight every couple hundred feet. But as we made it through Wenatchee, we had finally made it to our first official big gas stop of this trip, Leavenworth. Woohoo! As we had left Leavenworth after fueling up, we hit back onto Highway 2, which was one of our main highways during this trip. And I gotta say, on our way to Gold Bar up through Stevens Pass, it was a really nice highway. There was some road construction here and there, but other than that, I mean, the weather was nice. It wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold. There was some really nice turns and twists and all that throughout this pass. It was just an all-around good ride through this area. But little did I know, Tristan had a little bit of a treat in store for me. Yep, ladies and gentlemen, that is a crocodile. He took me to a reptile farm. Now sure, there was some snakes, there was some alligators, there was some lizards, but there were also tortoises, there was spiders, there was bunch of other stuff. I mean, I mainly got the reptiles. I got some videos of the tortoises and everything. I mean, look at this. This is a Siamese turtle. I mean, you don't see that every day. That's pretty cool. And then there was this big guy. This is a snapping turtle. Do not want to mess with these guys. I mean, the dude was freaking huge. Then we also got to see this little guy. Look at that. Little two-headed turtle. Cute, right? Anyways, after the little reptile farm, we started making our way back on the road. And once we got back onto the road, well, I had my music playing. And unironically, certain song was playing, and that song, well, it led us to where we were going next. Ladies and gentlemen, Seattle, the hell of Washington. Once we made our way into King County, traffic really wasn't all that bad. I mean, traffic was pretty bad going the other way, but for us, traffic was pretty smooth sailing going our way. We passed through a couple of these really cool tunnels. I always enjoyed them as a kid. I mean, I just thought they were super cool. But as we exited out of this tunnel, oh boy, we ran into some trouble. This bridge right here was the end of our demise. It was a disaster. See this right here? It says 4 minutes, 3 miles. The starting point on that bridge is where traffic really started to jam up. Now, this screenshot was taken about a week after this trip. It took us 30 minutes, and I'm not even kidding, it took us 30 minutes to get from that point of where the bridge is back onto I-5. It was ridiculous. We were on our feet, just paddling, waddling ourselves through traffic. It was a nightmare, and I hope I never, ever have to do it again. I mean, never take this route. Don't take this route for like a month at least. Or even more than that. Anyways, after we had that little disaster of traffic, we made our way down to Pike's Place Market. We didn't eat there, but we ended up eating down at the pier at the Premium Meat Pies place, which was really good. After that, we finally made our way onto the ferry, which took us across from Seattle into Bainbridge. And the ferry ride was really nice. I don't think I've been on a ferry since I was a little kid. But it was a nice ride. It was about 30 minutes to get to the other side, which really wasn't that bad. And the nice thing was, motorcycles were on first and motorcycles were off first. But enough yapping. I'm going to let you guys enjoy this next section. It's a little dark, but it's nice. And about after an hour of riding, we finally made it to our Airbnb. So here's a couple of videos. Well, here we are. Our little tiny yurt area.
There's a moat.
Oh, hey!
There's no water, but it's a moat.
Yeah! This is really cool. Got the generator going. Outdoor shower. Oh, looks so cool on the inside. Oh, what?
Okay, I'll read it.
Oh, it's foam?
Yeah, but it's so cool. Huh.
That's cool. Foam axe throwing.
Videoing my loss.
Yeah. So, just a little update on the first day of the trip. Had a little small inconvenience. Got stung on the lip by a wasp. Well, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. What I was talking about earlier. And this is what it felt like. That was fun.
Yeah.
It's not every day that it happens, I mean.
No, it's not.
It's just a little swollen. But not bad. So, once we packed out Saturday morning, we were back on the road. And it was about another 30-minute drive to our next destination. And you know what? I gotta say, I think I'm gonna miss that Airbnb. I mean, me and Tristan, we've talked about going back to that place and just exploring the area more. Go there for a weekend, you know? Have a little guys' weekend and just have fun up there. But anyways, back to the trip. We started making our way. Like I said, it was another 30 minutes to our next stop, which was Port Angeles.
I'm gonna zoom all the way up to show like how far away it is. Show you a picture.
Port Angeles. Tristan. I'd say we were in Port Angeles for about 2 hours. I mean, a lot of the time spent in Port Angeles was here in this arcade. I mean, there was a wide selection. There was quite a few pinball machines, which was pretty cool. But after we messed around in there, we fueled up and had a little bite to eat, and we were back on the 101, heading our way to Ocean Shores. And this road here, I mean, don't get me wrong, all the roads on this trip were a lot of fun to ride. But this road was really windy, it was by a lake, it was just beautiful to ride. I mean, traffic wasn't also that bad either, so it was just an all-around good road. There was a lot of great road sections on this trip, but this one was probably one of my favorite, aside from the one from when we got into Bainbridge. But then we stopped for gas in the middle of nowhere, and this was probably the first place where gas was over $6. Once we fueled up there, it was back on the road, and as you can see on the camera lens, it started raining on us, which really wasn't that bad. I mean, there was sprinkle here and there. We may have gotten drenched a little bit, but not enough to where we would have to dry our clothes. Because after the rain, we eventually hit into the sunny spots, which dried us off pretty fast. And we were kind of in and out with the rain here and there. But once we finally made our way through the rainforest, we finally started making our way onto the coast. And once we got to the coast, we dipped down onto the beach. And the beach was just, it was beautiful that day. I mean, once we got out into this area, it was nice and warm. Like, it wasn't hot. It was a perfect temperature, you know? And we just had a really nice time down at this beach.
Don't want to get wet.
As we head back up onto the road from the beach, we weren't really that much farther away from ocean shores. I'd say we were about maybe another 45 minutes, which wasn't too bad. But as we were heading down this highway, I kind of ran into a problem. I had lost my visor. I went to go put it up, and it just broke off and flew off into the tree line to never be seen again. Maybe by a local state patrol officer, but not by me.
Yep. Lost the visor. Go and went bye-bye.
Once we got into Ocean Shores, we went and played some mini golf for a couple of hours, and then we eventually hit up a bar. Got a little bit of fog. Nice. As we left my aunt's house, it was the sudden realization I had that today was our last day for this trip. I mean, Friday we went from Moses Lake to Port Angeles, Saturday we went from Port Angeles to Ocean Shores, and now here we are in the final stretch back home. And I gotta say, we had a lot of fun on this trip. We got to do a lot, we got to see a lot, we had a lot of interaction with each other. It was definitely a good bonding experience, but the trip still isn't over yet, because I mean, we gotta get home, and there's a lot that happened in between here and home. So as we made our way around the bay, we were about to hit up into our next town, which was the town of Aberdeen. Once we got into Aberdeen, we really didn't do a whole lot. I mean, we did stop for breakfast at a local bar, which apparently way back in the day, there used to be a lot of murders there. So, you know how it is, after we do something, we're back on the road, and, well, that's exactly what we did. We got back on the road after we were done with our breakfast, and it was a nice ride for the rest of the way. As we traversed down the road, our next stop was Centralia, and this is where we had our lunch. And this restaurant was also interesting, because apparently this restaurant was a spot that apparently Al Capone had eaten at, from what we heard from the people that worked here. We're not 100% sure if it's true. I tried doing my research, but I couldn't find anything, and apparently this was the specific booth that he had his little meetings in with his gang members. After a quick little top off on gas, it was back on the road. As we made our way out of Centralia, it was now onto the Cascade Mountain Range. I mean, look at the view. You can't get a much better view than that. I mean, you probably can, but I mean, I thought it looked pretty good on camera and also driving by it. But as we made our way down the mountain on this stretch of highway, going through some twists and turns, we were about to hit a small little town that kind of hit close to home for me, where I had a lot of my childhood memories. And that town is Morton. Now, Morton, there's really not much to see in this town. I mean, yeah, every year you got some big event going on, like the Loggers Jubilee, or the flea market, or the lawnmower races, but we were there to see a memory. Back in 2012, when I was only 11 years old, my grandpa had passed away. And this was his home. And I haven't been to this town or this home since 2012, so getting to see this place brought back so many memories. So, after we said goodbye to the home, it was back on the road. We filled up in Packwood, and, well, after I filled up, I learned that my GoPro had died. I know, I should have charged it the night before, but honestly I thought I was good on battery, and well, apparently I wasn't. So, the rest of this video is going to be on my cell phone, so enjoy.
Good to stretch too.
Yeah. Well,
My bike's running.
his isn't. So, yeah, the regulator on his bike just crapped out on him. Spent about an hour trying to call people, we even tried calling AAA, and they couldn't do anything for us at the moment. Just some situation stuff. Don't want to get too much into it, but AAA couldn't do anything. So called one of his buddies that's over back in Moses Lake, or Soap Lake, which is by Moses Lake, and we're gonna both get towed back. I didn't feel comfortable riding myself over 100 miles in the dark. I mean, it was still sunset when we got here, but as I would be heading back to Moses, it would have hit nighttime, and I don't have my visor, and I only have shaded glasses, and I have to have some form of eyewear or eye protection when I'm riding. So just waiting on the tow from the buddy. So that's our situation right now. So, yep. So his buddy showed up 2 hours later. We got the bikes loaded on. It was about another 2 hours back, and we ended up getting back at about 1:30 in the morning, and then I rode another 30 minutes back to my house. But you know what? Throughout this entire weekend, we had a really good time. I mean, yeah, shit happened and everything, and right now he's currently getting his bike fixed, but all in all, we had a really good time. I mean, like I said, we got to see a lot, we got to do a lot, and I just hope we get to do more stuff like this again. Well, finally made it back home. Gonna sleep in my own bed and get a good night's sleep. It's after 2 o'clock in the morning, so I'm gonna sleep like a baby.